Okay, let's talk about appraisals now. So we're past inspection, getting closer to closing, getting excited. We still have an appraisal. We got to get over that hurdle. And what is an appraisal? An appraisal is, it's a third party. It's an expert at valuing homes. It's a third party that is hired by the bank, by the lender, to verify an objective approach to what the value of the home is. Because the lender is going to loan money, and they're going to use the home as collateral on the loan. And if the buyer defaults, if the borrower defaults on the loan, that bank wants to know that they have enough value to sell that home and get their money back. Okay, that's basically what it is. So they need to determine value. And so the whole appraisal world has been set up outside of the lender. The appraiser is not an employee of the lender. There's actually a pretty, there's a wall between the two. The bank will order the appraiser the appraisal report, but they'll order it through an appraisal management company, and then the appraisal management company will reach out to an individual appraiser and schedule the actual appraisal to be conducted. That is to try to create this arm's length objectivity towards the value of the home. Those can be manipulated, and you can imagine what kind of a mess that causes. It has in the past. So that appraiser is going to come out and do an inspection, an appraisal inspection of the home, and determine value. Before the appraisal occurs, I think it's the best practice to reach out to your seller and explain basically what I just explained to you. Ask your seller, are you familiar with what an appraisal is and how an appraisal works? It's different than tax assessed value. A lot of people confuse, the county says the tax assessed is the same as an appraised value. It's not, it's different. So you want to send, we have in our Google Drive, the team Google Drive, you can send an appraisal guide to your client. And in it explains everything about the appraisal process, how it works. And I think it will just help the seller feel more comfortable with the upcoming appraisal and know what to expect. As the seller, if I'm representing a seller, I want to go out and meet the appraiser on the property. If I'm representing a buyer, I want to go out and meet the appraiser at the property. I don't want to leave that just to chance. We have come too far at this point in time to get sloppy and irresponsible and just let that appraiser go in there and figure it out on their own. I want to provide data. I want to provide proof. I want to provide more objective information to help them make a good valuation assessment of the property. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my comparables on the property, because I've done that already when we listed the property, right? You've done it already. You listed the property, you set the price. Now you've got an offer accepted price. And what we want to do is we want to justify that price to the appraiser. So I'm going to run my comps. I'm going to print those out. And then I want to meet the appraiser on site when he's there to do the appraisal. Friendly, cordial. Hey man, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job. Just wanted to give you, here's some comps that we use to price the home, and it may be helpful for you. Maybe there's something on the MLS you didn't see. Here you go. And so I like to do that and get a sense of who are they as a person? What's their attitude? Are they open to this additional information? And so then basically they conduct the appraisal. It only takes about a half hour. They do some measurements, they walk around, they observe, and then they go and they'll create their report. We'll usually see that report within, let's say, 3 to 5 days after they've actually done the appraisal. Sometimes you never hear, so it's good to reach out to that buyer agent maybe 2 or 3 days after the appraisal appointment and just say, hey, have you heard anything on the appraisal? Are we good? Are we good to go? In the event that there's a low appraisal, doesn't necessarily mean the deal is dead. It just means you have another hurdle to overcome. And those can be negotiated as well. So we have a low appraisal. Is the buyer willing and or able to come up with the additional cash that the appraised value has fallen short? So let's say it's undervalued. The appraisal came in $5,000 low. Someone has to make up that difference. So the buyer can do it with cash. The seller can do it by dropping the price. Maybe there's a combination of buyer and seller participating in resolving that issue. So appraisals, read the appraisal guide yourself, and you will be ready to really provide great value to your clients.